Today we're going to teach you how to factor quadratics. When giving the form ax squared plus bx plus c, first find the factors of a times c. So we find out a times c, and then that add up to b. So for our first example, we're gonna have 6x squared minus 5x minus 6. So we find out a, which is 6, and c, which is negative 6, so we multiply those. 6 times negative 6 equals negative 36. Now we have to find the factors of negative 36 that add up to negative 5, which is b. So our factors would be negative 9 plus 4. Now the reason why negative 9 plus 4 are the factors is because negative 9 times 4 equals negative 36, which is what that is, and negative 4 plus 4 is negative 5. So, which is b. After that, our factors are negative 9 and 4. We always bring down the 6x squared. Always bring out the ax squared. In this case, it's 6x squared. Now remember, our new factors are negative 9. We put an x, and since it was a positive 4, we put plus 4x, and then we bring down the negative 6 minus 6. We put parentheses like that. After this, we simplify, which in this case would be 3 is divisible of 6 and 9. Since it's x squared, we put an x outside. 3x parentheses 2x. 3 times 2 is 6, and x times x is x squared, so this equals to 6 squared. Now we're doing here is we're simplifying. Now remember that there's a negative 9x, so we put the minus 3, and since we already have an x in the outside, we don't need to put any other x here, so we close it. Now we move on to the next one, which is 4. Something divisible by 4 and negative 6 would be 2, and we put 2x because 2 times 2 is 4 plus the x is 4x, and then don't forget the minus 3 times 2 equals negative 6. So then we always bring out this part and this one, 3x, and since it's a positive, plus 2. Since it's a positive 2, we bring down plus 2 in parentheses. Now this will always be the same as this. They always will have the same. So it'd be 2x, you bring down 2x minus 3. And those are your factors for this example. Now, we write them over here, 3x plus 2 and 2x minus 3. So we have 3x plus 2 equal to 0. We find out x minus 2, so it'd be 3x equals to negative 2, and we divide by 3. X equals negative 2 divided by 3. So this is our factor. Now we use the same steps for the other factor. So 2x minus 3 equals 0, plus 3, 2x equals 3 divided by 2, x equals 3 over 2, and these are our factors right here. X equals negative 2 divided by 3, and x equals 3 divided by 2. Now let's try another example. X squared minus 11x plus 2. So remember, we first multiply a times c gives you 24. In this case, b is negative 11. Negative 11. So we have to find factors of 24 that add up to be negative 11. In this case, it'll be negative 8 times negative 3 equals positive 24. Negative times a negative equals a positive. Now we do negative 8 minus 3 equals 11. Negative 11. So we found our factors, which is our negative 8 and negative 3. So remember, we pull down 12x squared, and we put in our first factor, which is negative 8x, and our second factor, negative 3x, and we bring down the 2 plus 2. Now we put the parentheses. Now remember, this is a negative 3x. Now we simplify. We factor out the GCF, which is the greatest common factor, or each binomial. So 12 and 8 are divisible by 4. So 4, since it's x squared, we need an x in the outside, times 3 because it's 12, and the x because of its squared. Then, since it's a negative 8, you put a negative. 4 times 2 equals 8, and we don't need to plug in another x since it's already here. Now we move on to the next one, which here we can't really simplify because there is no greatest common factor, so we just bring it down. negative 3x plus 2. Now, we bring down 4, and this case will be a negative 1 because it's a negative here, and there's nothing in the outside, so it's negative 1. And since we have the same 3x plus 2, we bring those down. Now from here, we find the factors of that. 4x minus 1 equals 0, plus 1 plus 1. 2x equals 1 equals 1/2. That's our first. For our second, we bring down this one, which is 3x plus 2 equals 0 minus 2. 3x equals negative 2 divided by 3. X equals negative 2 divided by 3. And here's another one. So this is how you find the factors of a quadratic. And if you want to check in the calculator, for y1, you write down the original problem, which would be this one, and then for y2 you put your answer, which would be this, and then you'll find out the factor quadratic.